BTS news today. There is such a beautiful yet surprising thing happening recently in the South Korean entertainment world, especially for BTS fans. When the conscription atmosphere restricts the public interaction of BTS members, small moments that are captured on camera or revealed through official platforms are very valuable treasures for the army. But who would have thought, from so much content that has ever appeared, this new moment became a viral topic that captured global attention. Jimin and Jungkook's sweet and soulful reaction when watching a new MV from the Rookie group make a lot of army cry and call them like newlyweds. This story begins with a special show released on one of the K-pop YouTube channels that often features famous idols as MV commentators. In the latest episode, a surprise occurred when the production team presented Jimin and Jungkook as special guests. Although both are serving military duty, these impressions were apparently recorded before their active period began, and now deliberately released to please the army who missed them. When the screen opens and shows the faces of Jimin and Jungkook sitting side by side, the atmosphere instantly changed to full of warmth. They looked relaxed yet very close to each other, even more than usual. Jimin wore a loose white shirt with his hair neatly styled back, while Jungkook appeared in a casual black style that emphasized his charisma. But more touching is not only their appearance, but rather how the two look at each other and interact throughout the event. The MV they watched was the debut of a Rookie group touted as BTS sister, and has many sentimental elements as well as visual aesthetics reminiscent of the early era of BTS. From the first second the MV was played, the camera recorded the expressions of the two in great detail. Jungkook looked transfixed, his eyes twinkling as if he was witnessing something that was reviving old memories. Jimin, on the other hand, smiled gently while occasionally glancing at Jungkook, as if to share feelings that cannot be expressed in words. But the moment that made ARMY cry the most was when the emotional scene in the MV played lyrics about friendship and separation. Unknowingly, Jimin held Jungkook's hand in his lap. Jungkook calmly responded by gently rubbing Jimin's thumb, a small but meaningful gesture. The interactions are so natural and intimate that the camera even highlights them without additional effects, enough to make the heart of anyone who watches it tremble. The comments from them during watching the MV also reinforce the impression that this is not just an ordinary show. Jimin had time to speak softly. "It feels like we used to be. First time debut." Jungkook nodded and replied, "But now we have a lot of memories. Not even MV can describe it." When the MV reaches an emotional climax, Jimin looked teary. He turned to Jungkook and said, "I'm proud of you." The sentence was pronounced softly, and yet so clearly audible. Jungkook looked surprised, then smiled as he lowered his head. For a moment, they were silent. Only the sound of MV is heard. The camera doesn't move. No extra sounds, no music effects. The moment was so real, raw, and touching. Many fans watched this show live or through footage. Those who spread quickly on social media immediately responded emotionally. Hashtags like hashtag Jimin Jungkook reaction, hashtag PinganambaruJKJM, and hashtag ARMYCryAgain instantly trending in a matter of hours. On Twitter, an army from Brazil wrote, "They didn't just watch the MV. It was as if they were looking at a mirror from their own journey. And the love they radiate, it's not just an ordinary friendship." While a fan from Japan added, Jimin smiled as he looked at Jungkook like a newly married couple and recalled the times of struggle together. "I cried while watching it." The Korean media also immediately caught on to this phenomenon and began writing in-depth reviews. One of the major media said that the interaction of Jimin and Jungkook in the show reflects strong emotional togetherness, and described how BTS members' relationships have transcended the boundaries of co-workers. A cultural psychologist even gave an analysis that the relationship between two people who have passed through the pressure of a career, living together since adolescence, and experiencing global fame simultaneously tend to form a very strong and deep emotional bond. Jimin and Jungkook's closeness is actually nothing new to the army. Since their debut, the two have been known as two figures who have a unique dynamic. Warm and soft Jimin, as well as Jungkook, who is initially shy but slowly becomes very protective of his hyung. But in recent years, their interactions have begun to show a deeper and more personal dimension, something that can't always be explained in words. These impressions only strengthen the conviction of many fans that their relationship is one of the most sincere things that have ever been present in this harsh entertainment industry. After the MV finished playing, Jimin and Jungkook were given time to talk about their impressions. Jimin took a while before finally speaking. "I feel like I want to hug all the memories we've been through. Even the pain feels worthwhile." Jungkook interrupted quietly, "Because you were there." The words made the studio atmosphere quiet. The production team themselves didn't cut it. They let the desolation be part of the narrative. Jimin's face looked moved, and he finally said, "I hope one day we can sit like this again, watch the MV of the new generation, while reminiscing about our time, but together." He then turned to Jungkook and smiled, like making sure something doesn't have to be explained in words. The show closes with a scene of Jimin and Jungkook bowing respectfully to the camera, say hello to the army, and say thank you. But even after the end of the impressions, the effect is still felt. Their reaction videos were instantly re-uploaded by thousands of accounts, played millions of times within 24 hours, and become a subject of discussion in international forums. Not a few also refer to this moment as a veiled emotional confession of love, or a reaction MV that feels like a spiritual wedding procession. Although some people respond more neutrally, there is no denying that the aura emanating from Jimin and Jungkook's interaction is really touching, deep, and unusually warm. In an industry full of pressure to appear strong and always professional, this kind of emotional honesty is very rare. And maybe that's what makes the show so meaningful to the ARMY. Not because of any dramatic reaction or technical commentary to the MV, but because of the presence of two hearts that embrace each other in silence, strengthen each other without words, and share their love with the world in a way that only those who really pay attention can understand. Now, with the video still going viral and being the subject of emotional analysis from various circles, one thing is certain. This moment will be remembered as one of the most beautiful portraits in the history of BTS's friendship, love, and togetherness. Jimin and Jungkook not only watch MV, they show how traveling together can change the way we see the world, and how can love, in whatever form, be found in the gaze, touch, and meaningful silence. And for the ARMY, this moment not only made them cry, but also remind that BTS is not just a music group. They are families, life stories, and miracles that are present in real life. Jimin and Jungkook's newlywed moment will live on in their hearts, as proof that true love can be seen even just from the way a person looks at the person they care about. After the show was uploaded and began to spread around the world, the furor did not stop only among ordinary fans. Some South Korean artists who know BTS personally also commented. One of their former vocal coaches, who is now active as a coach for rookie groups, shared a video of Jimin and Jungkook's reaction on his Instagram account and wrote, "Two children who grew up together in the storm now sit side by side like pillars for each other. Who can watch this without crying?" Meanwhile, in the international ARMY online community, discussion forums such as Weverse, Reddit, and Twitter X are filled with screenshots of emotional moments. There are even fan accounts that make frame-by-frame analysis of Jimin's hand movements and Jungkook's eye expressions. They compared it to an old clip from a BTS concert. The truth untold is delivered, creating an emotional narrative that feels very touching, not long after the show went viral. Some fan artists also started making illustrations depicting Jimin and Jungkook sitting together watching the MV, like a couple who remember their youth. Some depict them in traditional Korean clothing as a symbol of spiritual marriage, and there were also those who painted against the background of the stage of their first concert in 2013. These works are exhibited online in a special hashtag created by the ARMY community of artists.
I made a leftist passionate, a college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate for taking control of your life, go out and battle and you